when I was listening to some other interviews with you, and I know this was previously, before like the shoulder tear and all that stuff, you'd said that you had bench pressed like 400 pounds when you were 16.
Yeah. I started lifting weights when I
real?
was 8 years old.
So what? Can you just take me through, like, what is like a regular lift for you? Like, what's your arm day? What's your arm
Okay,
day?
basically, I lift heavy weights. Like what's his name, Dorian Yates. Mike Metzger. These guys basically, you work each body part like twice a week. You want 72 hours rest, and basically the arms, the curls, I do them with like 80-pound dumbbells.
80-pound curls.
Right.
Are you like kind of before? Obviously now you can probably just curl that shit. But like when you were starting out, when you were trying to build up to that, were you like, how did you get to that? How did you build
you
to
start out
that?
work with 10s and 20s and 30s. Progressive resistance. You just constantly get stronger.
Yeah.
And you just do that.
Wow. It's just crazy that
if people do it right, most people could do it if they know it right. Push-ups don't do anything. There's not enough resistance.
Yeah.
You want to use all your strength to do about 10 reps. So you go and push-ups 1, 2, 3. It doesn't do anything. Once you get up to 7, they're like, sir, use all your strength. Then you rest a minute and do it again, like 4 or 5 sets with the heaviest weight you can for about 10 reps.
Yeah.
And then each body part you work out on these once every 72 hours.
Okay.
You could be overtraining too. Most people overtrain. That's why they never make any progress.
Really?
Right.
What do you think? What's like the biggest mistake people make when they're overtraining, or what do you think? How do you think they overtrain?
Okay, they don't take that 72-hour rest. Like if you train your biceps more than twice a week, you're not really going to make any gains because it's going to stagnate.
Yeah.
And they're not using enough weight.
Because you're just tearing them back down again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to use a lot of weight. You can't get physically strong without lifting heavy weights. You can't get strong doing push-ups. There's not enough resistance.
Really?
Push-ups is a waste of time. I've never done push-ups.
Never?
No.
Wow. Do you think, how many push-ups do you think you could crank out though if you had to?
Okay.
Probably 100.
Yeah, but the only way push-ups be good if somebody would put weight on your back or like somebody sat on you or something.
Yeah.
Same thing with chin-ups. If you added like 100 pounds of weight to your body.
Yeah.
If you just did chin-ups with no added weight to your body, there's just not enough resistance.
Yeah. It's good for the core, I think. The chin-ups,
it's better
maybe?
than nothing, but it's not going to make you that tremendous physical strength, though.
It's not going to make you the Milverine.
Right.
That's for sure.
If you can get up by bench pressing like 500 pounds, like 170 pounds or less, in a cage fight, you can just basically physically get somebody down and just basically work them over.
Well, that's what I'm curious because you're in great shape for fucking 61 years old. What was Milverine prime numbers? Give me like prime physique, prime bench. Like what are we talking?
Probably like a 500-pound bench. I wish I had a 52-inch chest and about a 34-inch waist, about 19.5-inch arms. Everybody in my family is like physically strong,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm curious. Are any of your other siblings, because you're the Milverine, do any of them resemble any other famous superheroes? Because I feel like there's got to be somebody else has got to have that X gene, dude, because you guys are
Well, my youngest brother's a
monsters.
good basketball player, 49-inch vertical jump.
That's
Not exaggerating. He played basketball like it was a street fight. They were always threatening to throw him out of a game. He'd annihilate everybody.
I'm sure if he's got a 49-inch vertical, that's like rookie Derrick Rose jumping out of the gym.
Like me and my brothers, we kind of grew up in a poor area and everything.
Yeah.
We kind of like mixing it up. We like scrapping. We like fighting.
Yeah. Wow.
If we come home bleeding like day after day, it's no big deal. You just wipe the blood off.
Yeah. Did you get in a lot of fights growing up?
Of course.
Yeah, what would you fight about? You seem like such a chill guy. Were you not always so chill?
I was I only weighed like 150 pounds when I entered 10th grade. Okay. So people just think, this guy's too small or something like that,
Oh, so they were picking fights with you because you're a small guy, yeah.
I never figured like I was smaller. I never considered that,
Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar thing. Yeah, I mentioned to you before we went live that I played basketball in college. And it was a similar thing. Anytime a guy got switched on to me that was a little taller, he's like, oh, I got to post him up. I got to post him up. And I'm like, dude, I'm not a pussy, bro. Like I'm gonna take this just fine.
Right.
But that's interesting. So you were holding your own because people were trying to pick on you a little bit.
Those big guys, Christ, they got no stamina at all. They can't finish you right away. They get tired.
Yeah.
If you get somebody tired and it takes like just 20 seconds to catch their breath, just think how many punches and kicks you can land.
In that 20 seconds.
When you get really tired and you hit somebody as hard as you can, it even hurts more than.
Wow. So you've you've done boxing, you've done cage fighting. Did you ever do any like amateur fights?
No. The thing is, when I was younger, I didn't want to starve myself to make a weight.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
So I was basically, when I entered 10th grade, I weighed 115. When I was done, I weighed over 200 pounds, like when I graduated, like 12th grade,
Yeah.
So I was bodybuilding, weightlifting. You can't, like, if I fought as like a fighter, it'd probably be like welterweight, like 147 as a boxer.
Yeah.
But then at 147, obviously, you're not going to be very good as a football player.
No. Yeah, no,
you need
not
more
at
bulk,
all. Yeah, that is interesting. It almost, I guess that kind of would deter kids from fighting, especially growing up, because it's like if you're wanting to play all three sports, you don't want to sacrifice the whole other sport just to be okay for this sport for the 3 months.
Making weight's basically the hardest thing for a lot of these cage fighters and boxers.
Yeah. Yeah.
They starve themselves to make a weight,
Well, that's, I mean, that's interesting because you always see that with these big popular fights, whether it's the influencer fights or even the big fights where, like, one guy, who's the bigger name on the card, he'll get the other guy to come to his weight or go up to his weight, and then that guy's fighting at a disadvantage because that's not the weight he fights at. Right. But he wants to make the fight happen because it's a big payday, and then that guy ends up.
I know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Some of these experts are so wrong. You know what they were so wrong about the latest big fight?
What's that?
Strickland was fighting this Adesanya guy. Adesanya is one of the best stand-up fighters. He's an excellent
Strickland lost his fight, right?
No, actually, Strickland won the fight.
Which one did he lose recently?
Okay, he lost the fight to this guy named Duplessis, this Dricus Duplessis or something like this, South African guy, like with a Dutch name,
Yeah.
But he won the fight against Adesanya, the Sean Strickland. Adesanya is probably one of the best stand-up fighters in the history of fighting, not just in cage fighting, but in kickboxing. And all the experts are saying if this is a stand-up fight, there's no way Strickland could win because Adesanya is so good, on the stand-up. He won't be able to land as many shots. And Strickland gave him an ass whipping for 5 rounds.
Really?
The experts are basically 90% of the experts are dead wrong on that one.
Yeah.
And then when he fought that Dricus Duplessis or whatever his name is, it's like a Dutch name. It was a really close fight. Some people thought Strickland won. Some people thought the Dutch guy won. I thought the Dutch guy won, the South African guy.
Yeah.
It was a really, really close fight.
Yeah.
Strickland's got a real good jab. And this Duplessis, whatever his name is, he said getting hit with Strickland's jab was like getting hit with a brick.
Wow.
His face, if you saw his face after the fight, the South African guy, man, it looked like he basically had his head slammed against the wall about 100 times.
Strickland's a scary guy too, man. He's a good fighter.
Good stand-up fighter, real good stamina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that's somebody I'd like to see you and Sean Strickland just chop it up, man. I've listened to some of his interviews. I think you guys would be interesting to bounce ideas. Yeah, we both
came from like a hard scramble background and everything. Both my parents grew up during the Depression.
Yeah.
They never complained about anything. People think people got poverty now. During the Depression, it was far worse.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Sometimes you had like 8 people living in like a 200 square foot place.
Yeah, that's
maybe eating once a day.
Yeah, no PS5s back then, no Fortnite.
Yeah, and plus going to the movies back then, it was only like 10 cents.
Wow, that's nice though. At least you guys had that.
Right.
You get a house for like $100.
Right.
Now we got we don't.
If somebody made $10,000 a year, it was like a fortune.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, holy shit, man. Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety, or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Do it.